शेयर करोगे हम। तो सबसे पहले आपका टाइम इम्पोर्टेंट है। आफ्टर सुबह उठ रहे हैं या फिर रात को सो रहे हैं, बीच में आप जो भी काम कर रहे हैं, whatever you people are doing, you have to be focusing on English at that time। आप कोई भी काम कर रहे हैं, आप चाहे ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं या फिर आप कहीं अपने जॉब पे जा रहे हैं, जॉब से वापस आ रहे हैं, खाना खा रहे हैं, किसी के साथ बातचीट कर रहे हैं, सोशल मीडिया देख रहे हैं, यूट्यूब देख रहे हैं, फेसबुक देख रहे हैं, you're doing anything, literally anything, you have to do that in English। अब कुछ ऐसी हैबिट्स हैं जो आपको डेली एक महीने कंटिन्यू करनी पड़ेगी, जिससे आपकी इंग्लिश जो है फ्लुएंट हो सकती है। So the first habit is to read daily. You have to what? You have to read. What do you have to read? The local newspaper, the local English newspaper. आपके यहाँ पे आपके टाउन में, आपके गांव में, आपके सिटी में न्यूज़पेपर्स आते होंगे। वो न्यूज़पेपर आपको डेली पढ़ना है, एंड यू हैव टू गिव लाइक 1 hour or 1.5 hours to that newspaper, क्योंकि शुरू में न्यूज़पेपर को पढ़ने में इतना टाइम लग जाता है। So for the first week, what you people have to do is कि आपको सबसे पहले न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ने से शुरू करना है। आप न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ेंगे for like 1 hour।
एक चंडी पावर के पहले तो हम एक्सेंट पावर देखो हो जाए वो हमारा पावर है।
जानवी, अगर हम आपसे कहें साधारण हिंदी में आम लोगों को आपको समझाना हो कि ब्रिटिश और अमेरिकन इंग्लिश में क्या फर्क होता है, तो आप कैसे समझाएंगे उसको बिना बोल के? आप ऐसे ही
कह सकते हैं, लेकिन जब हम अमेरिकन में उसको बोलते हैं तो हमें अपनी टोन को ट्विस्ट करना होगा, रोल करना होगा उसको। और अमेरिकन में बोला जाएगा पार्ट, मतलब हम ये बोला जाएगा पार्ट, और ब्रिटिश में ये पार्ट। आर पे और टी पे बहुत ही कम स्ट्रेस, लेकिन जाएगा। और अमेरिकन में टॉप, it's here and it's top, so part in British, but in this part।
जानवी, अगर हम आपसे कहें साधारण
दूसर का उपाय तोरा छिप बजे देखा जना हमरा सीखा के छले कौन चीज सीखा के हम सीधा कत गेली बुद्ध के पास सन्यासी ले लेकर जे है ना धुरंधर ओकरा पास पहुंचा वो देखो हम तोरा कतल न चले छे अभी जे चीज हमरा हाँ नहीं टॉपिक सिखा रहा है हम तो बुझ गए तो कथी सीखे चाहे वो ताले तोरा ला लिख रहा है वो तोर वो हमरे काम कर रहा है। वो तेज विद्यार्थी है, डोंट वरी। ब्रायन ग्रीन
In the year 1919, a virtually unknown German mathematician named Theodor Kaluza suggested a very bold and in some ways very bizarre idea. He proposed that our universe might actually have more than the 3 dimensions that we are all aware of. That is, in addition to left, right, back, forth, and up, down, Kaluza proposed that there might be additional dimensions of space that for some reason we don't yet see. Now, when someone makes a bold and bizarre idea, sometimes that's all it is. Bold, bizarre, but it has nothing to do with the world around us. This particular idea, however, although we don't yet know whether it's right or wrong, and at the end I'll discuss experiments which in the next few years may tell us whether it's right or wrong, this idea has had a major impact on physics in the last century and continues to inform a lot of cutting-edge research. So I'd like to tell you something about the story of the dimensions. So where do we go? To begin, we need a bit of backstory. Go to 1907. This is a year when Einstein is basking in the glow of having discovered the special theory of relativity and decides to take on a new project to try to understand fully the grand pervasive force of gravity. And in that moment, there were many people around who thought that that project had already been resolved. Newton had given the world a theory of gravity in the late 1600s that works well, describes the motion of planets, the motion of the moon, and so forth, the motion of apocryphal apples falling from trees, hitting people in the head. All of that could be described using Newton's work, but Einstein realized that Newton had left something out of the story, because even Newton had written that although he understood how to calculate the effect of gravity, he had been unable to figure out how it really works. How is it that the sun, 93 million miles away, somehow it affects the motion of the Earth? How does the sun reach out across empty, inert space and exert influence? And that is a task to which Einstein set himself, to figure out how gravity works. And let me show you what it is that he found. So Einstein found that the medium that transmits gravity is space itself. The idea goes like this. Imagine space as a substrate of all there is. Einstein said space is nice and flat if there's no matter present. But if there is matter in the environment, such as the sun, it causes the fabric of space to warp, to curve, and that communicates the force of gravity. Even the Earth warps space around it. Now look at the moon. The moon is kept in orbit, according to these ideas, because it rolls along a valley in a curved environment that the sun and the moon and the Earth can all create by virtue of their presence. We go to a full-frame view of this. The Earth itself is kept in orbit because it rolls along a valley in the environment that's curved because of the sun's presence. That is this new idea about how gravity actually works. Now, this idea was tested in 1919 through astronomical observations. It really works. It describes the data, and this gained Einstein prominence around the world, and that is what got Kaluza thinking. He, like Einstein, was in search of what we call a unified theory. That's one theory that might be able to describe all of nature's forces from one set of ideas, one set of principles, one master equation, if you will. So Kaluza said to himself, Einstein has been able to describe gravity in terms of warps and curves in space, in fact space and time to be more precise. Maybe I can play the same game.